Thanks for joining. Today, day number 2, I'm going to cover two easy topics. One is related to vManage dashboard and other one is related to how we can go and create the CLI template. And then we have a small lab related to CLI template. Okay, so
Okay.
let's try to understand this. I'll ask you some unrelated thing. Have you worked on Cisco ICE?
Little
Little
bit,
bit
not
also.
that. Yeah.
Little bit. Okay. So once you log into Cisco ICE, the page you are getting one login page, right?
Mhm.
So in that login page, what do you have? One
Means
second,
it
just
asks for
let
credential.
me pause the recording. I'm getting the record. Okay, so when you are logging to Cisco ICE, what you are getting?
It means the dashboard comes where,
Login page, right? That dashboard,
yeah.
yes.
Mm.
In ICE, that is something called PAN, Policy Administration Node. The first page that you are getting, that is
Mhm.
PAN, Policy Administration Node. And in ICE, we have different type of personas like PAN, and then you have PSN, that is the
Mhm.
service node. And then you have something called MNT, monitoring and troubleshooting. And then you have something called Pixie Grid. So these four components are there in Cisco ICE, right? But point here is this, that when you are configuring Cisco ICE, you are configuring everything from one place, right? From PAN, like from login page. So from one login page, you can go and you can go and create policies. But policy actually where it is getting created? Policy is getting created at the level of PSN, right? Monitoring,
Mhm.
who is doing? MNT, monitoring and troubleshooting node. Pixie Grid, what it is doing, that is some sort of, they are exchanging the contextual information. So I have DNA, I have Cisco ICE. If they want to communicate, they will communicate by Pixie Grid. Some mechanism, some API that they can share their contextual information. That is the Pixie Grid. Now, if you see the dashboard of any of the controller, for example, in this case, we are learning about Cisco SD-WAN. So obviously, when you log into the vManage, right? When you log into vManage dashboard, what are the things you will see in the vManage dashboard, right? The information about how you can go and manage the WAN. But point here is this, that like ICE, in ICE you have different type of informations, like behind the scene you have different type of personas. I'll write here, say PAN, login page, PSN. Then you have
So
MNT, monitoring troubleshooting. Then you have Pixie.
personas is just different policies.
Yeah, the built personality, like, built. So the one built is, or one personality is service, one is monitoring troubleshooting, one is integrating with different infra. So personality, like persona, they're built. Why they are for, like something like that. Right. So if you log into vManage, you will get one nice dashboard, right? But we know that from vManage also we can go and create policy, right? From vManage also we can go and do some configuration via some template. vManage also can do some level of monitoring, right? Monitoring. So I'll write MONT, monitoring. vManage can go and give you a statistics, stats, right? Then from vManage, actually, you can do some operational task as well, like upgrading the images, like rebooting the devices, shutting down the interfaces, those things, right? So some operational task also you can do, right? And so many other things you can do. Plus, you can do API integration as well. From where? From one dashboard. But the point here is this, that vManage is what? your front facing interface. When you log into the dashboard, basically we are talking about dashboard. So when you log into dashboard, dashboard is what? Is your front facing interface. Like if someone will log in, you can see their dashboard. So this is your front end, front end, but it is backed with the back end. So vManage has the backend as well. Not only vManage, Cisco ACI, any type of SDN, they have backend as well. Backend is what? Where you have the database connectivity, right? Backend where you have the DBA connectivity, database connectivity, right? So yes, in vManage you have that, but once you log into vManage, you can go and check different type of things like your devices status. Now with that device status, what are the things you have? Device uptime, downtime, inventory, certificate, reboot, reload, all those things. So device related things you can see. Then you can see the inventory, you can see the throughput. That is very important for WAN. Throughput is very important consideration. The MPLS link bandwidth, the internet link bandwidth, the outages, and those things. Then finally, you can go and check the stats related to application. Who is the top talker? Who is what? Who is doing what? All those things. So single place, that is your front end, you can see these things. But suppose if I have to go log into my vManage dashboard and I have to check the configuration, like show run configuration, or what is the running configuration to the device, how I can go and check that? How I can go and check that information? So you will log into that device, right? Suppose I have router one. I can go to router one, right? That particular router one is backed with some database. So behind the scene, databases are there connected with this vManage. Different things are there, like personas you can see. Different things are there in vManage also, which is providing those resources. But your vManage is like a glue, one single point, glued point that will glue everything together. That is your dashboard, right? So let me quickly go to the vManage. And I have seen this vManage dashboard from 16.x. I was one of the trainer that once Cisco has introduced this Cisco Viptela, even Viptela has introduced or launched their product. Like, even 15.x. Earlier we have 15.x. Viptela 14.x, 14.x, 16.x. When I created my course at that time, long back,
Mhm.
2000 or 2000, maybe 20 or maybe 2 year back, like 5 6 year back when I created my SD-WAN course. At that time I used this 17.x. Then you have 18.x, like somewhere in between 16 and 70 Cisco has acquired, and they keep changing their dashboard, keep changing their dashboard. They started adding their own things. Then you have 19.x, then you have 20.x. So these revisions you have, and as much as revisions that you have in this SD-WAN, as much as they have added new services, new features within the SD-WAN. So nowadays that the SD-WAN we have, and now it is very much like Catalyst Center, something like that, right? Catalyst Center.
Yeah.
Now, if you go and see this SD-WAN dashboard, you will see so many things there. Earlier in 14, 15, 16, it was very easy, open the dashboard and even you can see that what I want to do, all those display were there. Only 10 item, 12, 13, 14 items are there. Now, if you go log into the vManage, we can see 20, 30, 50 items, and their menu. In their menu, we have so many options there. So let me log into the vManage. I have my Day2 connected. Here you can see the dashboard, and here we'll see that on top. So this thing was there in 14 also, 15 also, 16 also, this part. And then this was there In 17, 18, this was also there. And then the below part, they have added some extra application interference and all. I need to refresh my page. It's a little bit slow. So these things are earlier also, but what is the addition? So now, if you go to the menu and if you go to any of these options, for example, configuration, I can see TLS proxy, certificate, network design, template, policy, security, network hierarchy, unified communication for voice communication, for SaaS, for infra as a service, for multi-cloud, for co-location. You can see so many options are there, right? If I go and click to tools, then you'll see SSH. I can SSH to the device, rediscover the network, operational commands, tag cases, template migration, network wide path inside, on-demand troubleshooting, tag management. So these options are there. Then in the maintenance, you can see software repository, software upgrade, device reboot summary. In administration, you can see again so many options, right? But earlier it was not. Now they have introduced this workflow as well. This is still some modification need to be there in workflow, but they are keep adding the workflow. This is something that you want to do something, already workflow is there. Use it and do it. Then you can see V analytic, that is you need to integrate your SD-WAN with cloud applications. With cloud applications, you can monitor over Cisco V analytic. So that's why we have that. And then finally, SD-WAN portal, that if you have, your account created, like your PNP accounts and all, so you can go and log in there. So many options are there, right? Mostly which options we are going to work. From your side, you can go to all these options, click there, and try to understand why this option, why this option, why this option, why this option. Mostly we are going to work with our template policies, these two options, templates and policies. In tools is there for operational task, SSH rediscover, operational tasks, tag use cases, template migration, network wide insights, tag management, troubleshooting. And maintenance is also there for operational tasks like software upgrade, downgrade, reboot, etc. Okay, but to stitch all these features, you have this nice dashboard. Now, if you go to this dashboard, from this dashboard itself, you can go to individual devices. So now I can go to click there to item 4, click here. You can see I have TC VH1, VH2, branch 1 and 2. Again, I can click here. So I will get individual page for this particular VS device. Reboot 4 times, crash 2 times, the temperature, the CPU, memory. This is like for 24-hour data. Then you can see lot many things like application related SIEA application, the interfaces, the tracker, the QoS, the on-demand troubleshooting like fake recovery, SSL proxy, app QA. Maybe some of the features are not supported in the software version. You need hardware for that. Some of the features are supported. You can enable these features and you can check. After enabling the features, you can go and check that what features it has, how we can enable and check the parameters, right? Now, at this page, if you come down, you will see that these two items, troubleshooting and real time. So if I go to click to real time, you will get some sort of CLI type of configuration option. So suppose I want to see my OMP table. So I'll get OMP advertised out. I want to see my OMP peers. Filter that, and now you can see that I have VS Smart 1 and VS Smart 2 as OMP peers, right? Now, if you want to check the control connection, suppose you want to see the control connection, like this is something like your CLI type of output you can get from the GUI, right? So once you are in the dashboard, you can go to individual devices. You can go and check all the WAN health, edge health, BFT connections. You can go check the overall transport health. Also, you can see the link speed. Also, you can see Then you can see that how many devices are authorized, what is the transport health during the time. And not only this, like, you can click here, view details, go in that chart. Even you can change the chart as well. Like, I don't want to filter by loss. I want to filter by latency. So I can get that, you know, all information you will get. So you can check the device information. You can check their transport information. Let me go back. Then you can go and check the top applications as well. So you can click view details, and all these applications, you can see that how many bytes consumed. You have filter option as well that you can see from the dashboard itself. So first hand information you can get from the vManage dashboard. If you want some more analytic data and all, so you can go and integrate your SD-WAN with some Cisco tool. And what is that tool that we can integrate with vManage? You know that? The
Thousand
tool,
time.
come again?
Thousand time.
1000i, but there is one more. Oh, what is that? So Cisco has acquired that company, Live NX, right?
Splunk.
Live NX. Cisco has acquired this company, I think. Let me quickly check here if my Google will work. Live NX. Live NX or something like that. Yeah, live action, Live NX. Yeah, Splunk is there that doing just that information, and
Monitoring.
thousand eye monitor. Yeah, thousand eye is there for SOC team and all, but Live NX is one tool that is there to natively, interact. So I think Cisco has acquired this company, Live Action, and then
I
you
think
have
that
this.
is like SolarWind.
Yeah, like Solomon. Yeah. So integrations are there, like, third-party integrations are there. Whoever understand the flow records, whoever will understand the SNMP and all those things, we can integrate our SD-WAN with that. Okay, so your task here is that go log into vManage and check what options we have for configuration, what options we have for troubleshooting, what option for monitoring. Later on in our session, we are going to work mostly on the configuration and template configuration and the policy. These parts we are going to work more. So why not? Let's go and check this part, the CLI template configuration. So let me give you insight about this CLI first. Now, if you are in a router, normal router, Cisco router, and if you run command show run, what will happen?
Running config.
You'll get running config, right? But in that running config, you will see block of SNMP configuration, block of AAA configuration, block of logging configuration, block of QoS configuration, block of interface level configuration, block of ACL level configuration, right? And others, right? Show run. Raw output you will get whatever configured in that. Now think like this, that can I take all this configuration and create one template? But if I take this information and create one template, what is the use? This is same thing that I have in Cisco router. Same thing I can create as a template as well, right? So what's
Mhm.
the usability? So yes, usability is there. I'll tell you that usability. So try to understand the template. Now we are going to understand the device template. Device template, we have two variations, CLI based device template and GUI based device template. CLI and GUI. Now we are going to focus today on CLI part, this part, right? CLI template. Later on, we'll discuss about GUI. Now, CLI template is as it is that you can see here in Cisco routers or switches, but it has two variation. normal CLI, like CLI normal CLI copy paste, and CLI with variable. You can go and create the variables. That's the key here. That yes, I can have normal run command and template, right? But I can create variables as well. So that we are going to learn today. So let me show you this. If I go to that vman, let me log in via my. Okay. So I have, see here, the remote connection is there. Go there. Let me go to DC1 VS1, and there is one command, say pagination off or false, something like that. Yeah, false. And now if you type show run, you will get the full output in single shot. Show run.
Ratnesh, I'm joining through phone as well for 5 minutes only. I'm just going to fetch my kid. I will join with laptop. Okay.
Okay, I have allowed you. Yeah, yeah, there also. So what I'm doing, I'm simply copying the configuration. I'll remove some lines. Later on, we'll discuss it. Okay, so what I have done, I simply copy pasted the configuration for this particular router. I'll name this as a CLI because we want to create our own. And now I'll go here. You can see the menu configuration and template. And then if you go to device template, you can see the option CLI template. We'll go and select the model that is cloud. We can search as well. Oh, search option is not. But anyway, CS cloud will be bottom. That is our device name. This is DC VH CLI template. I'll give some description. CLI template. I can paste that configuration. It's normal CLI, right? Only one change I have done, that the name I have added as a DC1VH CLI. And then I'll click add. So now you will see that we have our CLI template, and where it is, this is. Now with this CLI template, you can see clearly that this particular CLI template name is this, description is this, the type is CLI. Others you can see feature, some CLI is there. Type is CLI. This is for device model VeloCloud attached with zero number of devices, zero number of devices. This is global like that, right? So this is the template that we have, but this is not attached with any of the devices. So what we need to do here is next that you can see here the three dots. You can go here, click to these three dots. And here you can go and attach the devices. DC1, VH1. For that, we have this attach it and send here. Click next. And then you can click next, next, next. You can see on top it is in progress. Oh, failure. So we'll see why it got failed because I think the QoS thing. Yeah, QoS map is there. I need to correct my template. So let me show you that. So some configuration is there which is referring something which is not available. So that's why this is failing. Since it got failed, I can go back to my device template and I can click these three dots here. Then you can see options, edit, view, delete, copy. I can click edit. And once you click edit, then you can come bottom here. I know that over VPN 0, I have some QoS policies, which is not configured in this particular device. So I'll remove that. We don't have QoS policy for this CLI template. I'll remove that. And then I'll click update. And then you can see here that attached devices, DC1, VS1, attach, configure. Now we'll wait. It is in progress. We'll wait. Still it is failed. Why? Let me quickly see this. VPN. Cannot delete management. Oh, so when I copy this configuration, I have deleted VPN 512. Now you can see the importance of VPN 0, VPN 512, those things. I'll explain those things as well later on. Don't worry about that. So I can go back here to the device. Let me correct my configuration. I can go here and I can type show run VPN 512. So this is my VPN 512 configuration that I should not delete. I need this in my template. So I will go and again I need to go back and I need to go here and add this, click update. Same process. Let's see. You see it is in progress. Validation, you can see successful. And now you will see that this is online, online. Here also you will see the green signal is going on. Okay, successful. So now if you want to see this, you can go back here. You can go to configurations, devices, and for this particular device that it, you can see the name got changed, right? And even if I log in via CLI, if I press enter, you see the name got changed because now it is running with, or it is attached with CLI template. So that's the use. You can see simply what we have done, that we have created one CLI template and attached here. But I told you earlier that when we are talking about this CLI template, so it has two variation. Variation number one, that is normal, that I have shown you. And other variation is with variable. Yes. So suppose I have one CLI template. Suppose I have one CLI template. Can I go and attach with two devices? So if I can go and make proper variables, then yes, it is possible that we can go and attach it with two or three or four devices. That's the use of template, right? The reusability. Why we are using templates? That we can reuse it. So now what we can do here, we can go back to that template. I can go back to the configuration, templates. Let's see where we have our template, and this one. I can click edit. You know, to create the CLI template, what you need to do, go to your template, just select this, select up to here, and then here you have this option called create variables. Click there. Once you click there, it will ask you what will be the name of your variable. This is my host host name, host name. Great. Now you will see that variable got created. This is in within two parentheses. That means this is the variable. Likewise, if I want to create variable for site ID, simply what you need to do, select this, click create variables, and suppose this is my site ID, site ID. So now this is also become variable. Now, once you go and create such type of variables, right, you know what you have to do, what homework you have to do, that suppose you have two devices and you want to push these two devices with one variable, one template. So in these two devices, what you have to go and check is that number of different things. So these devices, obviously the host name will be different. Maybe they are part of same system site ID. Maybe they have same organization name. Maybe they have same VBond IP. Maybe they have same GPS location, but they have different system ID. So you need to list out the number of variables. So host name will be different. The system IP is unique, that will be different. Then the IP addresses over the interfaces, over the VPN 0, the IP addresses will be different, right? So over the interface, different. Over the MPLS interface, different. Over the internet interface, different. So different IPs will be there over different interfaces. So those things will be different, right? So what we have to do here while using the CLI template to n number of devices, you have to go there, right? You have to go there and you need to check out what are the things which is not matching, that I can set as a variable. You can set it and then you can push the same template to different devices. So now I have created two different type of variable here. Now if I click update, what will happen? Now it will ask me that, hey, you have created variables. Since you have created variables, you have to provide the value for those variables. So what's the host name? Suppose host name is DC1 with, I'll write like this, DC1 with variable. What is site ID? Site ID, I know that is a data center site ID is 100. Click update. Now you can see green signal here. Next, configure. Now it is going on. First of all, it will go and check the commit change. So it is checking the uh, configuration. So validation is successful. Once validation is successful, then it is checking the push. Like, we manage, will use netconf port number 830 to push the configuration. So now it is checking that how I can go and push the configuration. Now you can see this is successful. Now if I go back here to my device and if I press enter, you will see the host name will get changed because the host name what we have put DC with variables, right? So this is the way that we can create the variables within the SD-WAN. Let me go back.
So variables, like if we have 200 sites and we want to change the host name, so this is how we will
Uh,
perform.
we will use GUI template, will not use CLI template. Since we have these two options, so I have shown you the CLI option and the GUI option. But whenever we'll configure our devices, we will use this process to do that. So in
So
GUI,
that
I will.
requires CLI with variables or
No, CLI
GUI
is
with that.
not required. So we have two options, CLI and GUI. We are not using CLI. Like rare cases, we are using CLI.
Okay.
Okay. We are going to use GUI because that is uh, already predefined things are there in the GUI templates. We will not play around with the CLI. Otherwise, there is no much innovation. No much innovation means that there is no much changes, right? Changes like anyways, you are doing everything via the CLI commands. Then why you need SD-WAN templates and feature template and device template if you are using CLI? So that's the thing. CLI template we are using for maybe few devices for controllers and others in
Mhm.
case if it is required. Like some of the lab exams, we have this option to create. Like they want to check that we know CLI templates or not. But in practical, like in organizations and all, most of the time, like 99% of time, people are using GUI template.
So CLI templates, what we are telling that we are going into the CLI mode and we are
Yeah,
putting
so
the command one by one.
yeah, so like you are configuring the routers, right? Routers line by line, line by line, line by line. With
Mhm.
CLI, those configuration you are simply taking it, putting some variables and pushing it. Like the normal old days that how we are configuring the routers, CLI is the same thing. But you have some template that is managed by vManage, and vManage will push that. So the way that we are pushing the configuration to device is different. There, how it is logging to the device and configuring it. Here, is, although it is CLI template, but you are pushing from where? We are pushing from vManage, right? From vManage, you are pushing this configuration to devices. So that's the change, but
Mhm.
the nature is the same.
But
Nature, yeah.
that is the dot, like how
Mhm.
it becomes different from GUI template.
Okay, how it is become different because in GUI, you will get form to fill. So let me show you this. So if I have to go and create the GUI template, let me go to configuration and templates.
Mhm.
I can go to the template. Here you have create template from CLI and from this. So in GUI, let me select the device first. So the cloud. H. I'll give any test. Now you see this GUI. You are getting this pre-populated options, right? In terms of form.
Mhm.
These forms behind the scene, they are carrying some CLI configuration that we don't have to bother about. Otherwise, what I need to do, I need to hard code these things like, so these things, I need to type it, type it, type it, type it, type it, type it, right? But here already you have, and you need to fill the form, right? Here it will come automatically. You need to fill the form. And here itself, again, when I explain you the feature template and device template, I'll explain you here also you have three variation. You can use template with variable, with fixed value, or default. Okay. So the way that we
Mhm.
are configuring is different. This is like GUI way, graphical interface way. And someone is very good with CLI and all, they can still go and use it, but they have to understand each and every line. When you are using CLI, you have to understand what is mean this, what this, what this, what this. Some default configuration also you need to understand. So there are some 60-70% default configuration in the device that is there from the vendor. That also we need to understand, right?
Okay,
So
so in GUI, we are collecting the CLI templates and including here, all right, in GUI,
yes. So GUI is what? The devices, they will understand what? Only CLI.
right?
So that means some process is there that will convert this configuration to CLI configuration.
Correct.
So for example, if I go here and templates, and if I go to my device template. So for example, I have one router. That router is, let me click here. Let's see the router name. Router name is DC1 VS2, right? DC1 VS2. How we manage has configured that router via one template, that is DCV edges, right? DCV edges. What is this? This is feature template. This is GUI based template, right?
Mhm.
But if I go to the router itself, router number 2 itself, if I go here and if you type show run, it will not tell you about the template, right? It is CLI.
Mhm.
We haven't put this CLI. What we have put as a form, as a feature template, as some configuration from the GUI. But behind the scene, this GUI configuration is getting converted to the CLI. CLI is a native to the devices.
Yeah, so in GUI, like what we are telling that uh, we need to configure, like suppose if I want to configure SNMP, okay, so
Mhm.
I need to configure CLI template, and that
No,
CLI
no, you don't
template.
need any CLI template. You need GUI template and GUI template. I haven't actually. So you're asking something that I'm going to cover in next session. So let me go back here. In day number 5, like next class, I'm
No,
going
no,
to
my
cover.
confusion is here, like
No.
we
So
are
your
talking about
question answer,
CLI.
your answer is no. If you're configuring
Hmm.
something from the GUI, so you don't have to do anything with CLI template. Both are different.
So how that
Template, I
GUI
already
template
told
will
that
convert?
CLI is different and GUI is different. So when you are creating GUI template, you have,
Mhm.
this is device template within the GUI. You have a small feature templates. Like for SNMP, you have one feature template. For OMP, you have one feature template. For TLOC, you have one feature template. For
Mhm.
OSPF, you have one feature template, right? So these are the configuration that you are putting like normal information to the template itself. Now, behind the scene, your vManage has that capability that can convert this into some CLI configuration.
Yes, that is what
The
my
system is
means concern is.
converting that. We are not doing
Means
anything else.
anyhow that is getting converted into a CLI,
Yes.
right? So in CLI we clearly mentioning each and everything so that we manage will not require to convert into the CLI mode. Whereas in GUI in feature template we are
Okay, I
like
got your confusion. So you are telling
mm,
that when we are creating CLI template, right?
mm,
So CLI template is not getting converted to CLI, right? But answer is no.
right.
Answer is no. When you are creating CLI template also, this CLI template need to be converted into the CLI configuration of a router. Because here also you are taking one snapshot of configuration and then you are pushing
Mhm,
to the router. So router
mhm.
is still some process still will be there that will convert to the raw configuration.
Okay. Mhm,
Okay, so I'll tell you this thing. You will understand this. Because I am programmer as well, so I can explain you this. See, I used to create web pages.
mhm,
Okay, I created one web page like my blog page, for example,
mhm.
GigaCon. Now to create this web page, if some user will go and open, they can open some DNS like URL and my web page, right? But to
Mhm.
create this web page, I use some language like HTTP or not HTTP, HTML language, for example, HTML
HTML.
markup language, right? So in HTML language, if you see all code, right? Coding is there.
Mhm.
And then we can refer image, videos, text, notes, etc. Coding is there. But if someone is opening that code, he is getting what? This web page.
Web page, right?
So that protocol itself converting those requests to open page. So
Mhm.
coding is getting converted to page. Likewise, they are using some JSON like Java programming, like this Cisco ACI and SD-WAN. They have some Java program in backend. So that connector is there that will convert that template to CLI to the devices. So devices can understand. This is like humans can understand more.
Mhm.
For the Java programming is there as a front end, but in the back end, the Java program connector will convert this configuration to CLI or some low level C programming, embedded programming. Those things are there behind the scene. So programming is doing that thing.
Yeah, so Ritesh, I think maybe if you say like the GUI templates
Mhm.
has all the different features that you can put together, whereas in the CLI you're gonna have to be putting them all in.
Yeah, but his question is different. Like,
Okay,
he was asking some other thing. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I will cover that in
Mm.
the feature template, the next class that we have full-fledged session related to that. Small templates you have to create a small FTs, feature templates.
Feature template.
N number of
Okay.
FTs will give you one giant DT device template. So those things I'll cover. Don't worry about that. But your question was that how it will get converted behind the scene and all those things. And one genuine question you
Mhm.
asked that was really good question. Even people are not thinking that much that you asked that question. All right. We
And
are will.
also,
Yeah.
there's some questions coming in mind.
Yeah, yeah. Please, you
So,
can ask anything.
like the variables,
Hmm.
like if I am deploying some configurations for 200 sites or
Yeah.
200 devices, so that will be done using GUI or a CLI, or we can do
I will
these
answer this in
configuration by
next
both.
next class. Next class. We are going to use GUI, and within GUI, we have option.
Mhm.
But I will
Okay.
show you that in next class how to do that. So what we'll do in next class, we'll create one template, and that one template will push to two devices. So you'll automatically understand how it is happening.
And also, like in SD-WAN, like CAGs, if I want to see what are the features or what are the configuration in global configuration and what are the features we have in SD-WAN configurations, is it
100%. This also I'll show you. Yeah.
like show SD-WAN config that shows the
Yes.
SD-WAN?
Yes. Yeah. I will show you
And
these things. Don't worry about that. 100%. I'll show you all these things.
and one more question,
100.
like
You can ask 100 questions. No problem.
yeah,
I'll
actually these
answer.
are, I mean, say
They are very
dogs.
good, genuine questions here.
Like if a device is getting detached from CLI from vManage mode,
Mhm.
okay, to CLI mode,
Okay.
what what will be the demerit or disadvantage? And if we want to attach the device from CLI mode to vManage mode,
Mhm.
will it be a service affecting or something we need to take care of?
Yeah. This
Like
also I will
why?
answer. What are the pros and cons for this operation? I will
Mhm.
give you detailed explanation about this also. Next class.
Just give me brief one or two line because
Okay.
every day
Short
I'm
answer
seeing
also,
this
I'll
one.
short
Mhm.
and long, both answers are. Even actually, I want to show you these things. So next class, when we create our template, I will detach it and I'll show the difference. I'll attach it, I'll show the difference. So you will understand more about that. When practically I will do these things, you will understand more.
Okay, so it is recommended or not, or recommended with extra care in live environment.
See, as a network engineer, we have to run the services, to very honest. So
Mhm.
my trainer, my programming trainer from where I learned the programming and all, he told me one thing, there is no good code, there is no bad code. You know, so as a core hardcore network engineer, if services are running, we are not touching it, and
Mhm.
we are coming into the picture when something is down, service is down, blah, 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 blah. So point
Mhm.
here is this, that yes, as a backend, as a network, because we have the authority, we can do it. As a
Mhm.
backend, I can detach it from vManage, do
Mhm.
some changes like my experimental changes, because anyway,
Mhm.
service is down and all. And
Mhm.
if that is working, then I can go and attach it with vManage. I will go to vManage, I create those features and attach to the devices, because those features I check from the CLI, it is working fine and fast.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it is very time consuming, like, that you need to troubleshoot. How you will troubleshoot, because it is locked by vManage. You can't
Mhm.
create any interface, you can't do any operational change, right? So detach
Mhm.
it, do whatever troubleshooting testing you want to do all those things, and then you know that where is the problem, what is the fix and all, then go create some template and reattach it with vManage. So a standard thing is this, it should be always via manage via vManage. That is the answer. But in case
Mhm.
some corner cases are there, then you have to detach it, do some testing, and reattach it. Even in production, also, if the network is down or something you want to test some new feature and all in maintenance window, you can do that. But that is the backup things for the network engineer. As a network engineer, we
Mhm.
need some tool, right? That normal guys they don't have. Even they can't think on that part. So we have to think and provide the services.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any other question? Please feel free to ask.
Yeah, you actually you last time you told me that I will allow one question.
No, you
Although
can
that is
ask
not
100 questions, I told you.
that is not belongs to here.
So then I
Still,
can pause the recording then, if
yeah, yeah,
unmuted.
yeah. Please.
So let me
Yeah.
pause the recording.